these semifinalists will come from 3 regions of the world. The Americas.
University of Mexico. I come from a city which is named Chihuahua, Chihuahua. And I grew up with a very huge family. I love having so many family members. I have like 40 cousins, and I have 2 sisters, which I love so much. I also work with the tourism office from Chihuahua, and I am the official ambassador of tourism because I am so proud of being Chihuahuense. I'm so proud of the place I live in. I see myself as an ambassador of the women's rights because that's something that I truly care about. That's one of the main reasons why I'm here at Miss Universe, because I'm confident that this is a huge platform that will allow me to talk about this and to let the world realize that this is a big issue. And I want the young girls to realize that and to fight for their rights.
Coming from such a large family, I was closer with the boys. And I was raised as a tomboy. I was comfortable being a tomboy, but secretly I was a huge fanatic of America's Next Top Model, and I would binge watch it with my sister. So at the age of about 16, 17 was when the opportunity was presented to me to participate in Belize Fashion Week. And when I touched that stage, it was just a very new experience for me, and it really empowered me. And I realized that it doesn't matter if I don't feel feminine, if I don't feel beautiful. I need to invest in myself to feel that way and push myself out of my comfort zone, and I would be surprised at the things that I can accomplish. I am a survivor of an abusive relationship, and I love the word survivor because I think there's stigma behind the word victim. And this happened when I was the age of 17 and a half, almost 18. I really struggled with it, and I kept it.
Simone Williams, Miss Universe, Jamaica. So I am an international model. I've traveled to London, Paris, Spain, and New York. I have had so many different experiences. It's been amazing to see new cultures and to meet new people that are outside of my country. And so I think that it has given me a more rounded look at life, and it has given me more personal life experience to lean on, especially with the cause of mental health. So my advocacy surrounds mental health in children and teenagers. Mental health is something that is personal to me, and I'm passionate about it because my mother died in 2017 when I was just 20 years old. My mother was someone who always believed in the power of me, and I really, really love her for that. That is something that I still carry on to this day, even after her passing. The things that she has taught me as a child, those are what have led me to where I am now, and to be the advocate for people that I am now. And so I absolutely believe in the power of a mother. I believe in the power of a role model and the power of influence.
Oh, I'm Asia Branch, Miss USA. My greatest ambition is to be a success. I simply fear failure, and whether that success is within my business of Branch Beauty and continuing to expand that and reaching broader audiences, or if it's in my career path somewhere in the entertainment industry, either way, I strive each and every day to be successful. Having grown up with my father incarcerated for half of my life really sparked my interest in wanting to improve our justice system and work towards prison reform. So that's where my initiative Love Letters began, and that's when I began reaching out to government officials to implement change and to help our inmates live a more humane life. If I'm crowned Miss Universe, I will continue to accomplish the things that I have on my agenda as Miss USA, and then some. I want to continue to advocate for women, for equality, and for our justice systems internationally. I hope to be able to leave a lasting impact and really emphasize on unity.
I'm 28, I'm an actress, and I'm a professional makeup artist too, and I made 4 soap operas. Adivinen que me llegó de USA. I really enjoyed the process. It was a very beautiful experience. I would love to work in another country as a TV host, and more ambitious, maybe I would love to win an Oscar. I love studying. I completed a degree for business and retail. Now I'm finishing my last semester of journalism. In 2015, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called undifferentiated connective tissue disease. I called it the silent disease because people can see it. It's something we feel inside our bodies, so it's it's very hard to explain to others because they don't understand, because they see you like you are okay. That's why this motivated me to use my personal experience and my knowledge to educate others and support other people who are suffering disease like me. If I win the Miss Universe crown, I will use that crown for real actions. I want to make real positive changes.
You've come here running and I'm out of breath.
My biggest passion in life is music. I was living my dream performing for millions of viewers every single week on the X Factor UK. I also made the semi-finals of Britain's Got Talent. But what a lot of people don't know is shortly after that, I was living at my parents' house, I was broke, and I had no job. I really needed something that I could have control of, something that couldn't be taken away from me, and that something was education. I have 2 degrees, one of which is a master's in international economic policy and analysis. I was the president for my economics and social policy department, and now I work as the youngest manager at a leading economic consultancy firm. I still continue to write and record my own music, which has amassed over 1 million streams worldwide. People often ask me, well, are you a corporate businesswoman or are you a singer? It's a bit confusing. You have to choose. I don't have to choose. We live in a society that teaches women to shrink and to tiptoe through life, which is why I believe we're underrepresented in leadership. It's personal to me because I'm often told you can't perform on stages and be respected as a professional. Well, I perform on stages and I go back to the boardroom and I...
First, Ireland. If I were to explain Ireland to someone who had never stepped foot in this beautiful country, that is exactly how I would describe it. Ireland is a safe haven for all. That's what I think makes Ireland even more beautiful. We are one massive community. I work for this phenomenal mental health and early intervention charity called Hope for Life. What we do is we listen to young people who have been through their own experiences, their own difficult times and their own journeys, and we turn that into a comic book. The comic books are a springboard into a conversation with the children about their mental health, and they're a way of teaching techniques and tools for these children to use whenever they leave school and further on in life. Sustainable fashion came to light for me a few years ago. What I'm trying to do is encourage people just to think about something before they buy it or throw it out. For instance, for every national pageant I've competed in, everything I've worn has been secondhand. We can make a massive impact on our...
For Albania, my educational background is a mix between art and books because my mom is a classic ballerina and my dad an office man. So my mom used to take me to ballet courses, different TV shows, different competitions. I remember once on my way to ballet course, I told my mom that I would rather do my homework. At this moment, she gave up from that idea and she understood that I wouldn't do that anymore. Before I founded my own foundation, I volunteered in other foundations here in Albania. I have been raised with the concept of helping others and being near anyone. The energy I got after volunteering was incomparable and extremely positive. Mom, if you are watching me right now, I want to thank you for everything you have done for me, for always being there. You are my biggest inspiration, and I am here in the Miss Universe stage right now, and this is because of you, because you inspire me and you support me through all of this way.
Finland. I'm studying social sciences in the University of Tampere, and I'm doing a broad minor in psychology because I'm really curious about the behavior, about the mind, and I believe in the way that your mind is so powerful that you can achieve anything, and I want people to know that. And that's also one of the reasons why I want to empower women to feel strong in my She Can campaign. So I started my She Can campaign because I wanted to find a way to get my voice heard. I want to empower women to really find their own courage and to really get their full potential, because I believe every woman is capable of doing so much, no matter of your gender, no matter of your age, no matter of your ethnicity. And I believe, like my She Can logo says, that you can and she can. I really want to do some humanitarian work, and that's why I'm studying social sciences and psychology. I want to discover new things about human mind, and I want to make an impact in that way.
I'm Miss Universe Iceland. My favorite word in Icelandic is "þetta rettast." That directly means it will be okay. We always think it's going to be good in the end, and that's just the lifestyle here in Iceland. Þetta rettast. My dad is a pilot and my mom was a flight attendant. So I grew up traveling a lot, and I grew up with a really big wanderlust that is still really active today. I believe here in Iceland, you can be in quite of a bubble, and I think it's really important that we see the world from different perspectives, because that way we get to know each other more. I definitely think my passion in life is languages, and I want to be fluent in as many of them as I can.
Japanese, they have 3 alphabets, and when I learned about that, I was like, why?
I just started learning that the world is so much bigger than what I had imagined, and I started falling in love with it more and more. And
Asia Pacific.
Indonesia 2020. I love spicy food. I could eat like 10 or even 15 or 20 chili in one time. I bet that no one can beat me in eating spicy food. It's so good. I come from a very beautiful archipelago country that is Indonesia. We have more than 100 languages in our country, but we are one. As the motto is in my country, Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, uniting in diversity. It is something that I love the most from my country. I believe a strong woman stands up for herself, but a stronger woman empowers others. So I hope that one day I have the chance to become a Miss Universe and helping to inspire others. As my motto that I always believe, let's make the universe smile.
India. I was born and raised in Kuwait. At that time, Kuwait was undergoing an attack and there was a war. I was a very small child and I was really petrified and scared because suddenly out of the blue we could hear sirens playing and suddenly people going into hiding, switching off their lights, switching off their gases to make sure that everything is safe and nobody would make a noise. Things like this really affect you as a child, and sometimes even I still think about it and how war affects innocent lives and families. For the first time when I came back to my country and to the city of dreams, Mumbai, I was mesmerized about how people from different religions, from different languages came together and stayed in unity. Staying in India teaches you to get connected to your inner self, and through that to God. And that's something that I resonate with. And I feel no matter where you come from, your soul will always find.
Coming from a patriarchal society, I have seen and faced a lot of stereotypes that discourage women to dream bigger and forge ahead in their lives. But thankfully, I have received quality education that has empowered me and taught me that nothing is impossible for me. When I was 18, I moved to Australia for my higher education. I did my bachelor's degree in information technology from Central Queensland University, and I managed to finance my own education. I chose to pursue information technology because I feel that not many women in Nepal are involved in this field, but I knew that the future of the world lies in IT and it requires equal participation of all the genders. Being an empowered woman, I feel the responsibility of uplifting other unheard and voiceless women. And when together we all raise our voices, vocalize our thoughts without any inhibitions or self-doubt, we can achieve everything that we want in our life.
Singapore. I actually came from the Philippines. I was born there and raised up until the time I was 11 years old. In between that, I was also living in Hong Kong for a year or two, and I was able to really appreciate different roots of me being Filipino Chinese, but also being integrated into a very modernized yet traditional centric community, which is what Singapore really is. DJing is actually a side hobby of mine while I was in lockdown and isolation, and so for the good 2 months of the time that we were here in Singapore, I really started playing around with music because I feel like music is a source of inspiration for many, especially at a time when there's so much uncertainty and you don't feel quite the way you used to be. I think
I'm a fashion designer and I've got my own company called Natalia Jeffries. Now this is something that stemmed from such a personal experience in my life. When I was 16 years old, my father actually passed away, and that really pushed me into a position to really become, independent at such a young age. So I started this company with my mom when I was only 19 years old to, provide for myself. To this day, actually this year it's 5 years old, and I absolutely love what I do. I did modeling for such a different reason than doing it for a hobby. I had to support my mom as she was a single mother. So obviously I started doing modeling, and if I would win like prize money or bursary, I would actually use that to pay for my studies, and that was actually the way I got to study my degree. So this was really such a fundamental part of my life where I've built the character that I am today. This just really shows you that you aren't
5, which can come from any of them.
Korea. I'm currently living in Seoul, and there are a lot of delicious food. There are a lot of sightseeing all over. I go to school in Dongdae Women University. I also became international student leader. Being the international student leader, I always communicate with people even though they had a different culture. So I have to be really confident and be on mindset that I am a leader and I can do it. I started ballet when I was 4 years old, and I also do yoga, Pilates, and gym as well, because exercise is really important these days. We have to overcome the pandemic, Health is really important. I never stop experiencing and challenging myself. I can raise my voice and I can solve this problem. Being a leader is really important in our current society. This is the reason why that I really want to be part of Miss Universe. By this platform, I can raise my voice and show that women can also be part of our society and belong to the community as well.
I started my career on the pageantry world just 3 years ago, and I had some difficult experience at the beginning, but one day I just looked myself in the mirror and said, okay, you have to start loving yourself. If you want to become Miss Venezuela, if you want to represent your country, if you want to become a voice of girls, you need to get better. You need to love yourself first in order to tell other people to love themselves. A queen does not have to lead just by the example of her power, but by the power of her example. The only voice you need to hear in your life in order to conquer your dreams, to become anything you want in life, is your own voice. And that is the most important message that I want to share with women, young girls, and everyone who watch me in this.
Malaysia. Just a bit of sharing here. I'm the first indigenous girl to ever win Miss Universe Malaysia. My mom is Si Dayak Iban community, and my dad is Orang Ulu Kayan Kenyang. And I thought, you know what, I want to join Miss Universe, and I want to show them the other parts of Malaysia, the culture, the tradition, the heritage. A lot of indigenous people, a lot of us, we can actually make a huge contribution for the country, but we are too afraid to get out there. They feel like we are just a minority group. It's important for me to do this because it has opened a lot of eyes to other indigenous girls and also the minority group of people that we also can contribute to the universe, to the country.
Australia Universe. I'm a South Asian Australian woman who has been privileged to grow on First Nation soil, and I've been nurtured by a society based on freedom and an appreciation for differences. My parents immigrated to Australia from India in the early 90s. They raised my brother and I here in the cultural hub of the country in Melbourne. We're a very close unit and we breathe love, faith and confidence into each other. when I was growing up as somebody who did experience racism, who was bullied, and who did have significant mental health struggles. I know what it's like to need somebody to say, it's going to be okay, and what you're going through now doesn't define your future. I think I'm somebody who is purpose-driven, service-oriented, and I'm very passionate about everything I do. And that passion has led me to have a bit of a multi-hyphen career. I apply my degrees in psychology and management to a portfolio of projects where I champion social justice causes that I believe in. I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm a creator, and I'm studying to be an internationally accredited life coach as well. And everything that I do is committed to growing community and working towards breaking barriers and to build a more inclusive society. And I'm very excited to be representing one of the most multicultural societies in the world, Cambodia.
I'm 26 years old. I speak Khmer, English, and French, now representing my beautiful country, Cambodia. Cambodia is located in the southeast of Asia, in between Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. It is a very fast-growing, lovely, ever-evolving country. I do Cambodian martial arts, one of the longest fighting system in Cambodia called Mokatao. It is actually a fighting system where we used to protect ourselves during the war in Angkor era. Also, I'm in the film industry, and in the future, I just hope that I am able to play in action films and that I can portray Mokatao in the film in the future. So that's one of the reasons why I started. And I'm just super, super excited to show you what it's like.
Oxide Mateo, all the way from the Philippines. I really had my humble beginnings, and education had transformed my life. Now I am a teacher, and I hope that my students will see the value of education the way that I saw it. And I live in a country where there's a lot of poor families. And education is our social equalizer, that regardless of what background you have, what status of your family, if you educate yourself, you will be able to land a great job. If I will be crowned as your next Miss Universe, I will do my best to champion for other people. Because we need nowadays is not just a beauty queen with a pretty face, but we need phenomenal women who are not afraid to speak and to stand for the things that